Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Curses. I'm in my pod. Today's episode is gonna be dedicated to the microjump drive. This is pretty much a module that I consider to be the centerpiece of the whole Brutix and pretty much any combat battle cruiser these days, and without it I would not be flying a couple Brutix around. I don't want to spend too long providing the theoretical background for the module. You can already see on screen its main features and its main shortcomings. But long story short, it's a module that allows you to teleport yourself away from your current position, even if you're long pointed, or even if you're inside a warp disruption bubble caused by a dictator, anchored bubble, or even a hick. Combat battle cruisers are notoriously slow, so they can be easily long pointed by any interceptor or even pretty much any cruiser, and the combat battle cruisers also apply DPS in the medium range, like 20k or so, very poorly, generally speaking, of course, depending on your fit. But the micro jump drive allows you to ignore long pointers and just focus on guys that come in close. The micro jump drive increases the survivability of a combat battle cruiser by tenfold, and without exaggeration, in any roam that I make, it probably saves my ass more than a couple times, okay? Okay, well, let's go for some footage. In this particular case, I was warping around because the locals were semi-active, and I already have RTB cloaked up on a ping at this very gate. Actually, because RTB was cloaked up on this gate, I saw the Navy Omen and I decided to warp planners in my tank Brutix. So okay, I jump out, I'll reapproach the gate, let's see what develops. The Navy Omen also jumps. He's actually close to me. He's actually kiting towards me. Okay, nice. He's long pointing me. And right now it's a disadvantage about having a cloak. By the time I actually managed to target him, he was already kiting too far away, even though he spawned close to me. But okay, no biggie. Swipple lands. I'm only long pointed. I am not too worried at this point because I got RTB with eyes on the other side, and on the other side of this gate I see a Vagabond landing. Actually, I could engage this Whipple and kill him easily, but I'd rather avoid fighting with ECM drones on top of me, and I prefer to take my chance against a Vagabond that is solo on the other side. Once again, Intel is your most precious tool. Here is the Vagabond. I just decided to go for it. I'm a bit worried on the type of Vagabond that it is, and oh, he's long pointing me, good. Usually a long point Vagabond means it is the traditional one, with a couple shield extenders or some ancil boosters that don't really boost all that much, so not a big problem. I would be very worried if it were a scrambling Vagabond, heavily faction fitted. It would be very hard to kill. And the Vagabond didn't even try to kite me out, but okay, good enough, easy scram on him. I'm already bringing RTB that was up there in the ping. I need to kill this guy fast. It was just really a matter to decloak him and warp down. Battle cruisers warp so slow that by the time he arrived near the Vagabond, he could already block him, even with the 30-second delay timer. There's another Swipple on grid. He's also kiting a bit, probably shooting artilleries, couldn't care less. The Navy Omen and the other Swipple jump back. I actually hit scan and I see a scythe on scan. I really hope that the scythe doesn't arrive on time. Oh, there he goes. The Vagabond dead, nice. Scythe was too late to help. There's too much in the field right now. With the logistics ship in the field, I'm not gonna be able to do much, I guess. And these guys were semi-active. I'm pretty sure they would have more people online. ECM drones on me. Yeah, it's time to call it a day. Align out, wait for the MGD to activate. There we go. Teleport 100k away. Wait for the cycle of the warp disruptor to drop. Very good, he dropped. Time to go. Goodbye. Other times I'm roaming, and I jump into a system. I never know what's on the other side. And 14 in local, very nice. It's promising. Maybe there's something that needs to be killed. I try to check the anomalies that are spawning. Nothing on scan. Well, okay. Oh, suddenly fleets landing. Okay, no, this is not good. I see the Kitsune, I see a couple Tech 3 destroyers. You know what? I'm not even gonna stay here. And Logi, yeah, Bantam, only take one Logi. I'm not even gonna stick around. First things, I need to get my ass safe. Micro jump drive helped me. I was already pointed by 2 or 3 of those annoying ships. Point dropped. Okay, warp off. Let's go. This is an example how the microchump drive can save me from a situation that I have not properly assessed. Another quick scenario. Magos, Saber and Imperial Slicer. My biggest concern here is the Magus and Golem landing. Yeah, it was the Magus, now it's the Golem. There's no way I can kill a Golem, so I'm jumping out. Let's try to see what develops. Maybe I can split them out. And on the other side there's a Proteus. Yeah, right. There's no way I can engage a Proteus and a Golem. So you know what? I decided it's time for me to bail. I cloaked up. This is actually my other safeguard mechanism. But being cloaked up in a combat battle cruiser is really nothing safe. The Saber is already sprinting towards me, and he was gonna decloak me, but I decided to take the initiative and decloak first. I'm burning back to the gate. I can see the Proteus as a scrambler and neutron blasters. There's no way I can kill that. Golem jumped back. Okay. Let's check the other side. Hopefully there's not much more on the other side. So the Magus and the Slicer, yeah, I'm inside a bubble. I need to pick an alignment point that does not take me towards them. I want to avoid being scrammed. My biggest concern here is the Saber or the Magus, ships that typically have scrams. The Slicer actually kites toward me and is right on top of me with a long point. I couldn't care less. I'm overloading my cock drive, aligning out, hit the MGD. Saber is coming at me, but I'm moving fast. Okay, nice. And point dropped. Time to go. Without an MGD, I would have died for sure. Maybe I could have killed the Slicer and the Saber, make it Esquire efficient before dying to the Golem or the Proteus, but well, maybe it's better to just survive a bit longer and proceed with the roam to some other place. This sort of scenario where people bring too much that I can possibly engage is extremely usual in nullsec or wherever I try to roam, so having a safeguard mechanism like MJD to survive, to allow me to survive a bit longer is really important. Next scenario. I actually know that on the other side of this gate there's a hurricane. This is because RTB is cloaked up on the other side as well, and I've been messing with these guys for some time. I already killed a couple caracals and some stuff like that. The two lodges on scan are actually AFK, so it's not a problem, and they just put a hurricane on the gate waiting for me. That usually means bait, but you know what? Why the hell not? Decloak, approach, aggress. Okay, nice. The first thing I notice is that the hurricane is long pointing me, so not really a major threat. At least for the time being, I can MGD and bail out at any time. If you know that some ship is bait, it's handy to hit scan from time to time, and there's a Caracal on scan, a Rifter. Okay, so far so good. This is a shield hurricane, so he won't have much HP. My backup Brutix is also on the field. So far nothing is threatening me. Rifter jumped out. Okay, nice. One last thing to worry about. Time to lock up the Caracal. Hurricane is about to die. Nice. So I'm starting to focus on the Caracal. Hurricane down. Nice, let's go. Overload my code drive. Let's try to surprise the Caracal. He's really not moving at all, so he's really doing a bad job at trying to kite away from me, honestly. Rifter is back. Also not a problem. The Rifter actually scrammed me, so I'm gonna need to take care of him sooner or later. Fortunately, it's a Rifter, it's a ship very easy to kill. I actually think that RTB has the drones on the Rifter. I think RTB is focused on the Rifter. Another Caracal, okay, not too big of a problem. Let's see where it lands. And the Sacrilege, okay, this was not expected. I've been focusing on killing the Caracal and I've not been descanning well enough, but I still got a good chunk of HP. Sacrilege is actually on a ping, so I don't really know what he's doing. He's 130k away. Well, let's see what develops. Rifter is dead. Good, I'm not scammed anymore. Let's go for the other Caracal. And Sacrilege also seems to be coming down. Well, I was already focusing on the Caracal, so I'm just gonna finish up what I started. The second Caracal is also barely moving, so he's not even activating his own micro drive, so I'm easily getting him. And the Sacrilege is coming at me. Okay, I need to target him. The Sacrilege is coming and webbing me. I need to focus on the Sacrilege, but as soon as I target him, he starts to kite away. This is odd. At this point, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know if I want to mess with the Sacrilege. I am reaching 50% hull, my capacitor is getting somewhat low, and there's also a crow on field. You know what? I'm still gonna... Oh, hang on. Navy Omen landing. Where is he gonna land? Right on top of me. How cool is that? Okay, let's go for the Navy Omen. I mean, the Sacrilege is more of a threat because he can scram me, but at the same time he does not want to come into my scram range. Smart fella maybe there, I don't know. Anyway, the Navy Omen is right on top of me, moving at 0 speed. He starts to gain some speed now, but it's already too late. I got him scrammed and webbed by both tunes, and let's apply DPS onto the Navy Omen. There's the ECM notification there in my HUD. I overeat some light Hornets. They don't really jam all that much these days, so all good. Also, my capacitor is getting really low, and because I'm dual tabbing, I have my own micro drive on by mistake. I should have shut him down ages ago. I noticed that my capacitor is getting really low, and I need 200 gigajoules to activate to use the micro jump drive. Fact is, I don't want to stick around near the Sacrilege. If he comes for a scram or if the crow long points me, I'll lose the Brutix at the last possible time. I want to avoid that. So I kind of somewhat decided to, in some sort of panic move, to just micro jump drive away from the fight and call it a day. While I was not pointed, I could actually just have warped off instead of MJDing. The fact is, the whole Brutix warps so slowly that sometimes it's just better to MJD away from the fight and then warp off. Okay, another engagement. In this situation, I have been messing with the locals for some time now, a couple hours probably. And initially they formed up a fleet I could not possibly take on with broadswords and faction cruisers and a bunch of stuff, and I pretty much had to bail. I went AFK, cloaked up for a couple hours, and then came back to check what they had. They're still pretty active, and they're bringing a couple Caracals, Interdictor, and some tactical destroyers. Actually, it's not such a bad of a fleet for me to engage, because the whole Brutix, and especially if I use two of them, they can manage that sort of the ships very well. Now, my plan is to take them a bit away from their home system. So here I am, warping off to an obvious outgate. It's a pipe system, only one way to go, and I want them to chase me. At the same time, I am keeping RTB a bit behind in order to truly assess what they're gonna bring. I can take care of Caracals, Interceptors, and Tactical Destroyers real fine. I just won't be able to take on something like bigger stuff. Yeah. Well, anyway, there we go. There's a Swipple. There's probably already a Claw on the other side waiting for me. It's good. Let's just jump. Nothing has decloaked. Okay, Spipple is decloaked. I'm just gonna go for him. Time is really short. I don't really know how long I have until I get really outnumbered more than I can take on, and I'm just gonna go for whatever I can. I've already checked my cargo hold and I don't really have any drugs, any drop booster to increase my tracking. That's unfortunate. And there's only one ship in range for me to engage, so let's go for it. Actually, I think he made the mistake of coming too close to me. I think he wanted to kite me away, but he just realized that too late. The saber is always a problem. I lock up the saber as fast as I can, but by the time I manage to target him, he's already miles away. It's okay, no biggie. I'm tanking just fine. The first Vipul is gonna go down, so I need to keep him at range. I like to keep Tech 3 destroyers at 4k range more or less. Stuff still coming in. I've actually decided to not bring RTB. Why? Because they have so many people active. RTB is better suited as intel on the other side of the gate. Anything nasty comes along and I'll be able to, well, hopefully avoid and survive. Jackdaw is also the only other target that I can engage. Everybody is kiting a bit away, 20k away. That suits me fine. As long as I'm not scrammed, I'm happy. And right now, on the other side of the gate, a Sleipnir has landed. So I just decided to select a random Celestial to warp off, activate the MJD. I really hate let the Jackdaw survive, but oh well. Okay, I'm 100k away, time to warp off. You will notice that my ship is not warping just yet. Actually, it's changing direction and the claw is coming at me at a great speed. If the claw catches me, I will be in serious trouble. Fortunately, my ship has managed to bail out and I was really lucky. So what the hell happened on this situation? Because I freaked out due to the arrival of the Sleipnir, I did not align it properly before activating the MJD. This meant that once I was far away, 100k away, I took a huge amount of time to warp off. If that clock caught me, I would have died. Alright, moving on. In this particular case, I'm already being scrammed in the web by a stiletto, so he needs to die. While I'm flying a ship with a micro jump drive, anything that is squishy and with a scram needs to really die. Unfortunately, the Phantasm bumps me away from the scram range of the stiletto. Goddamn, he got free. So there's nothing else I can do now other than focusing on the Phantasm. Hopefully, the fact that the stiletto survived won't bite me in the ass. Now I decloaked RTB and I'm focusing both Brutix onto the Phantasm. He's going down nicely. We got a few jump-ins, that's to be expected. I've been messing with these guys for half an hour. Oh crap, Sino! Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna stick around, so you know what? MGD out, MGD out, MGD out. I just hope that the stiletto doesn't comes in and scrams me. Of course, Thanatos. I had to be. Well, anyway, I'm 100k away and I just warp off as fast as possible. In this situation, I didn't even worry about aligning properly before warping off. If a Sino comes out, you wanna get away real fast. Once again, I was not pointed by anybody in that gang when the Sino went up, but warping off with the whole Brutix takes so long that most of the times you'll probably be better off just MGDing away and then warping off. Alright then, next engagement. I'm warping to a gate and there are some system combat probes in space, but that's normal, at least most part in this system. Oh, but I noticed it says Vipul from CVA putting out probes. I know I'm in trouble. Usually CVA only comes this far with this system with the huge gang on the other side for sure, and I try to warp off as soon as I can, as soon as I land. I got some more jump-ins, of course, tacklers. I get long pointed by stiletto, so I keep aligning, and I just decide to activate the MJD. Let's go. No, damn. Before the MJD could activate, I was scrambled by a stiletto, thus cancelling the effect, and I'm not going anyplace. There's really nothing more I can do here, so I just decide to reapproach gate. I'm not gonna aggress any of these guys. The whole gang is just gonna jump on top of me, whatever it is. I don't even know, but the amount of tacklers they got, probably 20 guys. Anyway, I decided to take my chances and burn back to the gate as much as possible, and then we'll assess the situation on the other side. By pure chance, everybody starts jumping in, and I'm pretty much cross jumping them. This is awesome for me. Maybe I can actually bail from this. Okay, let's jump out. On the other side, I'm inside a bubble, and I cannot use the MGD. The MGD is on a 3-minute period cooldown because it got cancelled by a scram, so I just decided to burn back to the gate and use a cloak. Unfortunately, battle cruisers are pretty easy to decloak if tacklers know what they're doing, and well, I got easily decloaked, so my backup plan does not seem to work all that well, and I've got the whole gang jumping back into me. Yay! Well, I'm scrammed, web, tracking disrupted, and the whole is going down really fast. I think everybody knows how this is gonna happen because I'm still 5k off the gate. I've been actually bumped off the gate, not that it matters much. Yeah. Poof! Dead station. I guess the micro jump drive can't really bail you out from every situation, can it? Let's just take it out a bit to the point where the decision was made to warp off. If I had activated the micro jump drive at this point instead of trying to warp off, would I have survived? Did this Whipple actually had a scram or a long point? If I tried to use the micro jump drive, would this Whipple scram me, thus not changing anything on the outcome of this fight? Those are the questions that I never know. Most times I never know if it's better to just try to warp off or to activate the MJD because, well, both have advantages and disadvantages. I never know what's gonna happen and it might bite me in the ass later on. So there's a very good dynamic around the micro jump drive, in my opinion, due to this factor. And even if you MGD away, a fast ship can get you far away from your previous location, and for 3 minutes you'll be a bit stranded and you'll still probably die. So there's a very good dynamic that involves decision making on whether you need to activate or just try to warp off. Last engagement of the night. I actually promised that I will not be taking much long of your time, fellas, and it's an Onyx landing on my gate. I actually jumped through the gate, but starts to have cold feet. I should have probably tried to warp off. I actually align a Celestial and just try to warp off before the Onyx decloaks. There's approaches there, but I'm not even caring much about him. Oh, crap. I actually should have been worried about the Proteus. It's a scrambling Proteus. I actually forgot the Proteus can scram like Lachesis with the proper subsystems. But well, let's just try to burn back to the gate. I'm mega scrammed by the Proteus and the Onyx, so let's just... I'm not webbed, so that's good. And of course, Cyno. Why am I not surprised? Anyway, there's really nothing I can do here, and I think this is game over because Cyno, that's what usually means. Oh, look at that! SG1A actually wants to talk to me. Some good news. SG1A is actually one of my oldest friends in EVE, and one should never reject an invitation from a friend. I mean, I'm actually being hop dropped, so I could use some cuddling. I mean, SG1A actually asks me if I'm busy. I don't know, you tell me. Does being hot dropped count as being busy? Maybe not. I'm never too busy for a friend. Anyway, I just happened to have reached the gate, it seems, so things are looking brighter and brighter. Though when the slap there on the other side. Oh well. Oh, he jumped! How cool is that? Select a celestial, warp off, and there you go. Sometimes you don't need a micro jump drive. The only thing you need is a good friend to be on your side, to give you some of his lucky charm, and well, someday Eve servers are gonna go down, but the friendship you made with Eve mates, that's gonna last on. Okay guys, this is all for today. See you next time.